Today on Warrior Sessions.
I've spoken so much about this, but it's so big. Everybody should know about this. Everybody should know about this.
It's not grandiose things. It's to do with you should be proud of who you are for all of your faults, all of your bad stuff, all you know. And I think we're easily just we could go on a weekend's course and call yourself a shaman or something, is what I'm trying to say. Or you could go on you know, a level 4 course like me and say you're a psychotherapist. And it's like, no, you're a counselor. There's a big difference there.
Because she was creating her life and I wasn't, I felt that inferiority. And so I wanted to control her life because I wasn't taking control of my own life.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Uh, yeah, the September was extremely difficult month. And for me, it got worse and worse.
Okay.
And then on the 1st of October, there was like this opportunity, this portal of change
Okay.
that Hazel and I took to kind of override to override the despair and everything going wrong. And just trying to be more positive now. I don't know if you've ever experienced when everything's going so badly to the point where you feel like you're going to have a breakdown. There's like this opportunity to laugh through it, and that's kind of what happened because everything that's happened to us. Well, it just got worse and worse. And one of the things that happened was we we took the car out to get it serviced, and we got a £1,500 bill. And we've only had the car a year, you know. So that was tough to take. But I feel like I'm on the other side of it now because
That's good.
we were told by Spirit there was a portal to walk through, and the 10-10. So the 10th month, 10 is completion, and on the 1st of October was a 10-10 because the 2025 is 9 plus 1 is 10, so it was 10-10, and we both just felt this release of energy, and so now it's like building on that positive energy without sliding back down. But I did, I don't know what you were going through in your personal life. I'd be interested to know. But here, there was, because there's three of us, we were all getting stories of men just completely losing it. Just completely losing it. I did a video about it when I was going for a run one day, and gosh, I was going through it. It was bringing up all sorts of deep stuff that was existential for me. Like not being able to connect with people, the illusion of separation, going out into public and everybody just, completely asleep. The perceived, that's how I perceived it. And that is true, but you know what I mean? It's really tough out there at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Just from my perspective, I've seen you go from Wales next minute to Windermere and then up to Scotland to just visit your clan. Um, and then just, yeah, now here back at Lake Windermere. And yeah, you're on the other side of something. But yeah, I can't imagine what you guys have been going through. I can't. Um, And then obviously we've briefly touched base, and it's like, look, I think I'm heading into London, and Hazel's getting a call in to go to Glastonbury, and
Yeah. So you're reminding me what happened. Yeah. So Scotland was rehabilitation for me. I only got 4 days there. I left
okay.
some flowers at my auntie passed in April. I didn't make the funeral,
No,
which was really rough.
yes, you were left out of that or something. You weren't even
I
informed.
well, I'd take responsibility as my responsibility, and
Okay.
but um, that was really tough. That kicked up a lot when I was at the grave. I was having another outburst trying to find the grave. That was really tough. I got so desperate, I rang my cousin in San Francisco to ask him where it was. I found it on some findmygrave.com. Findagrave.com. Can you believe that
Oh
exists?
my God, really?
Well, yeah. And Scotland did something to me almost immediately. As soon as we landed at our Airbnb, I looked out the window and I burst into tears.
They look
Started,
absolutely amazing now.
yeah, started grieving as soon as I looked out the window, and that went on for days. And I didn't want to leave. As soon as my body knew that we were leaving, I started to go down in vibration again. There's something about that land; it's so pure. Um, and have you been up? Have you been up there?
I've been no, there is a massive calling to go up there. Aberdeen, but this is all as a child. Aberdeen, very in the 70s, big wide streets, very tall, beautiful buildings. Um, I do recall Aberdeen very much vibrant at the time because of the oil business of the North Sea. My dad was always in Aberdeen, and he would take us sometimes for a week, and he'd go off and do the work, and we'd stay in lots of different incredible spaces. And yeah, I it's really I know it's Aberdeen, but still it's Scotland, and there was definitely something. I mean, I'm Watson, so we are Scottish by descent, and we do have our own tartan, I believe, but I definitely remember it being a really special time. But no, I've never done the Highlands where you were the Outer Hebrides. I've not been anywhere in that area, and it's definitely on my radar to
It'll
go.
yeah, it'll change your life.
Well, I was hoping you were going to stay up there, and I'd just come up.
Well, yeah, that's our intention.
Yeah,
And I told you I met a guy through he'd been watching our podcast.
amazing. Yeah, tell me about
Yeah,
that.
he's a mountain guide, so he took me up Scafell Pike, but he does the Cairngorms and Glencoe.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully going to head up the Cairngorms with him. But it'd be great to get you up there as well,
I'd love that.
camping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd love that.
yeah. It's incredible because all of us have said the same because we all got Scottish roots. Is as soon as you go hit the border, it's like this breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see how you react. I think you'd have a really positive reaction, like we all have.
I'm so yeah grateful for you sharing what you shared. I know you only had 4 days, but it sounds like really important grieving was done.
Yeah, and it was really deep.
Good. In what way?
So I looked out the window and I had a vision, sort of vision of a past life where, because there was, when I looked out, we were in the complete middle of nowhere and right next to the loch,
Yeah.
and there was a tiny little boat tied to a tree next to the water, and I saw this vision of Hazel in past life, just about to get in a boat to go and see me up the river, up the loch.
Yeah.
But it was how the vision felt in me. It was so deep. It was like a love that transcended time, and that it came from the land, not just her. It's like she was part of the land, part of here, and that land is ancient, and it's so pure, and it's the love is just so deep. It's There's just something different about that place. So and we've had a lot of other people as well being called people with Scottish roots, and we got this message a few years ago from Bob Marley. Came in one of our ceremonies, the mass exodus. We did a video on Prophecy Walkers, Hazel and I, about the exodus of the people, how people are being called back to their homes. That's why there's so much movement of people at the moment, immigration, stuff like that. It's like, where is everybody's true home? Where is their true land? And loads of people are being called back to where their blood, their blood ancestry is.
Wow.
Yeah. And something else happened when I got back. I booked a massage, and she was a medium as well. And she said at the end, I said, I told her I had problems with my hips and my third eye, and she said it's not there and there. It's your whole body. You're in trauma. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And she said you shouldn't be living in someone else's place. So that really triggered me. Because that's what my body was telling me, and then I have no choice at the moment.
No.
And the other thing she said, which was really triggering as well, is that she said that I'm not strong enough to go to London yet because of the amount of trauma that I've been under, stress. But Spirit has come in repeatedly and said things are going to change. So we're going with that. There's going to be something big happening in the collective. Otherwise, I mean, I don't really channel myself. But I did the other day. I channeled about 6 or 7 different spirits in a row. I've never done that before. Pan came in, the Violet Flame, someone from the GFL, and loads of others I didn't ask their name. And there's going to be some kind of collective intervention. And it might be geological, I'm not sure. Didn't go into detail, but Pan said to us that the reason it's been so difficult in the past year is that there was a problem with the centrifugal, his words, centrifugal force within the Earth grid, which created a unforecasted spiral of negativity out into the collective. And Hazel and I were picking up on that, and it was affecting our journey enormously. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I really want to hear what you've been up to, mate.
Yeah. It sounds, yeah, like you're in a place right now that you're building upon something. I'm excited for you, and I'm glad that you're honoring that. You're not rushing ahead to something, or I don't know, into something.
Precisely.
So it's always really lovely to connect with you. It's been too long. Feels a long time, but it hasn't, because you've said we checked in and said, but it does feel like a long, long time. Obviously, we've gone through, well, you've described the portal of night, and yeah, I think if anybody's really feeling it in the family, it's Lexi. She's definitely she's got the final thing with Hazel coming up. I think she really, you know, she's looking forward to, but not looking forward to that being the last one. To be honest, I think it's been really powerful for her. So I'm really being.
She's doing a year 2.
I don't know what's happening.
No, I'm telling you, Hazel's creating a year 2, so you can Lex your.
I won't
make
say
cheer
anything.
up.
Yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
Hazel do her
Yeah.
thing with the group. That's good. Yeah, I think when we come together like this in a deep artistic creative way, like we've got to stay close. I just think we've got to stay really, really close. One of the group came, I don't know the lady's name, but Maurice was the man. I don't know
Oh,
his
Salma and Maurice. Yeah.
Salma. They popped in, and I basically said, I feel that I really would like this brotherhood to come into the fold, in a sense of, because I feel, and Alistair does, it's so strong. It's been for you, I know, a lot. For me, it's what you and Hazel channeled, and the group of brotherhood where I'm positioned. I keep saying to you, that's very significant in the work that has transpired since that. There's like some real purpose in my beingness now. There's something to really find joy in, which is people at that spiritual emergency place, that station of, do I kill myself for a third time? I failed twice. Shall I have another go? And suddenly in comes this being, and suddenly there's conversation. There is a space and time where they can truly be heard, because I've spoke many a times in these sessions about how it's all about stabilization and not allowing people to have psychotic episodes. They're not allowed to move with it and through it. They're shut down, and then they're sectioned. So I'm the guy that I'm one of many across Dorset that come out of this section order into a place where it's gentle. You're there to help them cook. You help them there to do their washing, maybe even to start to write letters to say special, heartfelt messages to family and loved ones that maybe they've hurt in their process. Some of it's alcohol induced, some of it's drug induced, some of it's just come through complete burnout. There's been people that are professional, there's people that haven't worked a day in their lives. But you're right, there's this negativity around, and it's definitely noticeable, but people haven't had a chance to move in a different direction with their psychosis, where you guys have been offering such a beautiful place. And I'm just hoping that this union continues to grow. But I'd like to bring back to the brotherhood. My position in that is, I feel, is so important, and you're positioned, above, directly above. And I think what I've been really working on is meditating on trying to get this brotherhood to come back and join the women and have like a big women men thing. How that looks, I don't know. I'm sure you and Hazel are aware of all that anyway, but I really feel that it could be very important for all of our growth. So I've actually gone and found a new group since we last spoke, but it is attached to a psychology degree. So I've gone
My
with
dear Watson.
I've gone with transpersonal psychology.
Yeah.
So I've signed up to and stepped into I was one of the actual course was not really, it wasn't a website. It was just through some things I've been reading. It all just aligned very, very quickly, and I just went for it. I went and got a bank loan. I haven't even got the money for it. I got myself a loan to get on it. And the door, if you like, of the vessel of this container, this transpersonal psychology of meeting science with spirituality, let's say, the vessel was leaving and I was like swimming. This is how I saw it. I was swimming and I managed to just grab it and climb on board, and I was the last one on. So there's 19 of us. There's South Americans, there's Europeans, there's a lot of Dutch, a lot of plant medicine people, a lot of people doing work like you guys have been doing. There's some London guys. There is a guy from Ireland. So it's a mix of men and female. And we're going on this journey of looking at how our work can benefit from working more with the spirit. So I haven't, so if I looked around, you know, in my imagination at my tool shed, I just never felt I had the the science and also a way of explaining that can be integrated into someone in a counseling session, let's say. So it's very early days. We meet every fortnight. We get weekly essays. And the structure really is coming, it's the fourth force, they're calling it. So it's where we've not able to manage ourselves inside of a container of, I don't know, humanistic or psychotherapeutic type person-centered ways. It's like what you and Hazel have been doing. So there's a lot of that psychedelic. We're going to research that. So that would probably mean me coming to you and Hazel and you holding me and going through that so I can report back in and write about that. Obviously, you're very good at that, so you can hopefully help me. There's looking at EMDR, polyvagal. There's all these things that, are sort of listed that we're going to go into, and we get given information. We then do our essay and then we send it, and then everybody shares, and then everybody feeds back on each other's accounts of the information and what we've read. So we've got some academics, we've got guys with PhDs, we got art therapists. So it's the right people, it's our people. And I thought, you know what? I really want this and I need this. So that's basically what, since we've last seen each other, that I've really invested in. Like I said, I didn't even have the money. I don't have the money. But I know that the growth that's going to come from it's going to stretch me. And I'm sort of I'm in a little bit of a place where last night in my share I was trying to describe my essay because they call it poetry. I'm not this guy that can make a report and be very, boom, boom, boom. It was coming from that what you and Hazel have described, that art within ourselves, that we are art. So it was coming from more that whole embodied Michael rather than just the left brain, rationale, logic, copy and paste. Just that's not me. So I explained to the group that maybe I can work towards my academia. This is something that is maybe the bridge to that, because there's this sense of self again, that the imposter syndrome, which I know is branded around, but this sense of I'm not good enough to be there was there again. So my stomach is bubbling, my heart's thumping, my body's shaking because I'm in the right place. I'm uncomfortable. I'm not I'm like, what am I right now? Like, what is this? Who is this? What am I moving into here? Because there's people that articulate themselves on your level, because I know you're a very smart man, and it's like you can articulate yourself in such a great way. Now you think that I'm okay with that, but there's something still blocking that movement towards the higher self. So we possibly have to go on a plant journey. It sounds like we do have to go on some type of we have to stay together for 2 years, but the course is a fast track 1 year. There is then a master's to follow. It's like I say, weekly essays, but then there's 4 massive projects throughout that's on top of that. So it's a lot of essays. Um, but yeah, it's with the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology. So it's the UK version. It's all happening in North America. It's happening in Holland, Japan, Australia. There's groups. It's Jungian psychology. So Carl Jung meets Stanislav Grof, meets Abraham Maslow, meets Carl Rogers, and then there's lots of women as well. Alice Miller, and they're all pioneering. They're all sat in groups in these institutions around the world, all all doing the work, churning out what they are trying to bridge with the scientific community. This sense of what the work you and Hazel are doing. So I'm hoping to get myself on a particular stage where I've got these people more attracted to that journey, and then I go, right, Alistair, Hazel, you're the medicine people, you're the people that are doing that bit, right? Over here, I've got my EMDR guy, girl, whatever. Over here, I've got this. Over here, so I've got all these people around me, and we are all a collective in that we're all sharing the journey of trying to help someone find that real true essence of joy, of life, of living, of being alive. And
Yeah.
it's profound, and it wasn't something. It's like, yeah, I've been thinking about this course for a lot of years. It was literally bang bang bang, and that's the way I do things. It's like I'm getting pulled. I've got to swim now. I've got to make it. I'm on. Oh, I'm the last one on. Hi everyone, I'm Michael. Woo, I'm glad I'm on. Shit, I haven't even got the money to be here. I haven't even got the money to be here, but I don't give a fuck. I've got the money from somewhere has sent me the money, and I described that in my first share, and people were pissing themselves because everybody else's share was very sort of left brain. It wasn't the creative. And so Diane that's running it goes, Michael, the way you're describing this is exactly what we need. You're that type of bridge where
Yes.
where the academic people really struggle to be artistic in their.
Yes. Yes.
It was really interesting. So there's me going, I want to be academic, please,
No. No.
Mother Earth, Gaia, anybody that's listening. Like I want, and then there's people going, actually, I want to drop down more into my heart. Like I want to,
Yes.
I can't fucking do that because they're blocked.
Yes.
They're blocked here going, I'm going to spout off all this scientific information and I'm going to
Yes.
just speak from here. But they're blocked from their heart because they can't get past that. So I'm really hoping that this could be a real shared journey that impacts our relationship in a really big way, in a really
Yeah.
great way.
This is amazing. I am so excited for you. How did you find out about this? It's incredible. What an
I know.
opportunity. I would have got a
Thanks to
bank loan
you.
out as well, mate.
Thanks to you. It's where you've positioned me in the brotherhood. It's my responsibility. We've got responsibility.
Listen, I was just about to bring that up, right? You spoke about these people. Do you know they're speaking from the top down and you're speaking from the bottom up? You have to
Yeah.
speak from the bottom up because it has to come from the truth. It comes from the earth. If we're speaking
Yeah.
from up there, it's not going through the heart. It's not being purified. Therefore, it can't be translated. into real practical healing.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, I'm sorry, but I did the whole academia thing, and it doesn't work anymore. To have a certificate to say that you can do something, it's all changing.
It really is. You and
Yeah.
Hazel are so on the point. And I think I just want to let you know there's people in this group sailing on this vessel of transpersonal psychology saying they're in their room as a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist and it's not working. They're telling us now. It's happening, mate.
That's good to
It's
hear.
happening.
Yeah, and I'd love to talk a lot about this, about psychotherapy. But what does transpersonal mean? Does it mean transcending, taking any of it personally and look at it from a observational point of view?
Absolutely. It means outside of the ego, outside of the self, but in the self. Going
Okay.
through it, going through the self.
Yeah, so this is about transcending the ego. Yeah, okay. That's one of my third eye gifts. So I probably haven't told you this, but in each chakra you have an alignment. This is just how I've done it. There are other ways to do it, of course, but
Yeah.
and this is really advanced. It's going to take me years to finish, but I have
Good.
5 animals, 5 spirit guides, each chakra,
Yeah.
and each one has a gift and a shadow, and that shadow can also become a gift.
Yeah.
And one of the gifts of one of my animals in my third eye, and the third eye is about abilities and responsibility, is transcendence, which means transcending the ego. And I've done it a few times, but I haven't been able to um, stabilize, as you've seen how difficult my life's been, to
God, yeah.
stabilize that because I haven't had strong enough foundations. And this is why the Earth Star is so important, why I talk to you so much about it.
Yeah.
The Earth Star chakra is probably, if not one of the most important chakras, because without it we can't be sovereign, and we can't the higher self can't land in the body.
Well, that's the work I want to do with you, though. I need to come to you for that. Remember that. I've got the attunement and the initiation of symbolic Reiki symbols in and open the chakra system from the standard Reiki, Roho, Reiki, firework, whatever, all of the different lineages of it. It was never introduced as, and we've got those other chakras. And we have said that could be work up in Scotland that we could do. I think this is going to be an interesting journey. I think this is going to open up a lot for me and you. And I really
Yeah,
want to bring it into our space because I'm not going to lie, these guys are trying to figure out how we explain this and put it into a framework. It's been worked at. So the input from these sessions could be invaluable as I feed that back. I think this is why I'm saying it's important that we have groups outside of groups.
yeah, and I think you should. I don't know how many of these sharings you have with them, and how many people are in the room. I think you said roughly around eight, how many? You
We've
say
got a
eight?
full. They literally they can't. This is the honest truth about this group. There was no website. They just contacted, like me, the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology, and they couldn't believe people were going, how do I learn about more in-depth techniques, more things around the psychology of blah, 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 blah. And this woman had to respond. She's an educator. That's what she does. She goes around the world and creates different places of education. She's landed on this from having a big spiritual journey. She's got a lot of background and she answered the call and she's put it together. Not like overnight. She ran a course last year. The first year was last year, but she hasn't advertised it. It was just another influx of people. So you said, how did you land on it? I honestly don't know.
Spirit. Okay, right. So
There's no,
what?
there's, I can't put it into words. I just know that
Yeah,
what I'm just at my desk going, da 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 da. I'm really intrigued with this transpersonal psycho. Da 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 da. Oh, I'm just going to message that person. And out
yeah.
comes Michael. There's a course starting in September, and I'm just like, yeah.
Wow.
And in I
Yeah,
go, and I said, Lex, I'm on this, and she goes, oh my God, go for it. Because that's the way
Yeah,
I
yeah,
work. That's the way I work.
yeah, yeah. Nice one. Well done. I'm really proud of you. That's amazing. Well done. Um, that's amazing. You've been working really hard and you've been rewarded for it. I just wanted to add that I would like to suggest, because I'm not part of this group, but I would like to suggest, and maybe you've already said it, or maybe someone else already said it, but to ask them to ensure that rage and anger is okay to share in that space. People have to get used to that energy. It's really important.
Okay, bear with.
It's so important. The purity of righteousness. It's the only thing that can create true change. It can only come from a man or a woman who's taken full responsibility for their shadow. And that's very rare. You're doing that. You can do that. You can shout, you can scream. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about the whole trauma scream rage thing. I'm talking about righteousness of this isn't right. This is what needs to happen. People need to be allowed to have that that outburst of opinion of saying this isn't right. I'm not happy with the way things are. And I'm talking about, society, what's going on with the clients. This isn't right. I'm not happy about this. Because without that, there isn't true connection. And you're just back in academia, which is just trying to, if your aim is to, like, I'll give you a good example, right? Katie, who put us up, she went on a course, a shamanic training course, which, neither of us recommend, but we were speaking about choices we made in the past. Because one of our friends has signed up and we were saying about the pros and cons of it. And she said she was almost forced and told to do certain things, like all of a sudden shamanic work was academic. And she said no, because she wanted to do it her way. She wanted to do it through the soul, right? And that's how all work should be done, right? If it's done academically, then there's control, and you can't. And it's like drawing a box and not, being allowed to go outside of the lines. It restricts, and we're back into the rationale, like you said, the logic. You're right on target, and I just think it's really important for men to be held in that voice of righteousness. Like the best example I can think of is when that tree fell for you and you lost your shit. Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that tree is still touched most days, and I call it my love. A lot of stuff's grown around it now, but it's all just piecemeal. It's all just scattered, but yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Anyway, so so
Yeah.
that's an amazing example. And you mentioned about plant medicine and academia, because I've actually got that unfinished book about mental health optimization, which is actually very scientific, right? And I didn't finish it because I left that realm of science and I went into the realm of the metaphysical, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But they do relate. And to me,
Yes.
the academia of science is just the first stepping stone, and then the
Yes.
metaphysical is the whole journey.
Yeah.
But
That's it.
but the metaphysical has to be translated and grounded, and that's my job. That's what I do, right? And I'm actually, I'm doing my book, which is about the art of integration, right? Which would work perfectly.
Absolutely massive for me. Yeah. And for the work that's happening in this group.
Yeah, so that's inspiring me to give it a different point of view on some of the subjects that I've put in there. because there's some really profound chapters that I wrote in there, and one of the most important ones, because you started your conversation with you speaking to people saying, how can I kill myself today? And I did this profound, and it took me years to channel it and get the right energy, to the right information, energy into it, the truth, essentially the pure truth of sacrifice. And you keep talking about the brotherhood, and the brotherhood is the portal being held by 10 men, and the eagle and the condor, the two sphinxes.
Yeah.
And it's the divine gateway, which is the lion's gate, and the divine gateway chakra is the top chakra.
Yeah.
Right. And as I've told you about certain animals, they have a gift. Like, for example, the lion is about devotion in its lightness. The same with the chakras. So the Earth Star chakra is about purpose, stability. The root chakra is about the lust for life. The sacral is about passion, right? But I wanted to say that the divine gateway is about sacrifice. So you can't go through the portal of evolution and recreation of your higher self coming in and exchange, death of the ego to love coming in. You can't do that without sacrifice, right? And sacrifice doesn't look how we believe it to be.
Right.
And so I've written there's some really powerful stuff in there.
Yeah, that just lands. So I love that. Yeah. I love that. I'm just so honored to like be able to, bring this into the space. And it actually it's another real fit to our journey together. And for this to, yeah, this is big stuff about the mystical, I'm just looking down at some of my notes, the indigenous, the ancient, the wisdom. These are all things that we're going to explore together. There's been a lot of people since 1950 that have been trying to work this way, and it's just been continually shut down. It's been going on way before that. Obviously, our indigenous peoples were doing it way before, through dance, through plant medicine, through art, through song, through.
Yeah, I know why that's
so
happened.
many different ways.
Yeah, I know why that's happened. There's many reasons, but if you're looking on an interpersonal level of the masculine, I've seen it so many times, is that it's a power grab. It's a control over power. It's like, I'm not going to allow those people to discover what's beyond control, because if they discover that, then I will lose my control. Because the level at which most psychologists work, even the higher up ones, they hold a level of control, not a level of sage or wisdom or guidance or grandfather. They hold an energy of superiority, which is cranial narcissism, which is destroying people with their intellect. And the more intelligent they are, the more knowledge they have about psychology, the more difficult they make it for that person trying to overcome them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can feel that in the room. You can sense that the group's a good group, but it's a real mixed bag. Got some that have done big journeys that talk about it. There's a lady in there that says that she's a psychic, and that she works in all sorts of different ways around Wales and Scotland. There's all sorts of great people in there, and I'm just sat
Mate,
there.
I would love to be sat in that group. That sounds incredible.
These people have not seen an advertisement, a billboard, an advert, a radio station announcing it. We've just heard this something in us, and we've moved towards it. Everybody in that group. That's profound.
It's like, I don't want to use the word think tank, but it's like a new hybrid heart think tank, right? That's what it sounds like.
That's what they've got. Some guy, yeah, one of the leading pioneers of this. Yeah, he's splintered off from transpersonal because he's calling it something else, like they will. Because again, we've still got the ego in there. We've still got this control of, I don't know, the strokes you get from somebody saying you're very, very intelligent, aren't you? And someone goes, yes, I'm so intelligent, aren't I? I'm just so powerful. Um, I'm not
So
saying
this,
I'm not saying we're going to lose that ever from the human being. I think it's always going to be something in the way, but I'm not going to judge that. I'm just going to let people work that one out themselves because I feel that this could be massive growth for me.
yeah, it already is.
My brain last night, I saw you, so hear me out. It must have been, it was the form of it wasn't Green Man, it wasn't Pan, it was a very strong symbolism of land meets masculine body laid along a horizontal sort of line. You're dangling off on a bungee rope, hanging like in the ether. It's you, and you're just like, but you're attached to this amazing, and it appeared like landmass. So I'm now thinking it must be Scotland. And how funny is that? I come off a course last night, 9 o'clock, grab myself some water, start reading my book, think, right, I'm done, light out, and then bang, I can sense my just expanded consciousness. Like I just feel it's really like I'm really open. And it's you, because I'm just told it's you. And there's like you on this horizontal. I mean, it's big. It's like a big. It felt big, and I couldn't say if it's land or whether it's like a great warrior on its side. But it's huge. But you're very small and significant in scale to it. But you're on a line and you're dangling. And it's like you're in space, just floating. Like, and you're
Wow.
illuminated as well. And I
That
think
is,
it's
yeah.
blue. I think it was blue. That But I was like, whoo, what was. I'll tell Alistair when I see it,
That describes very much how I feel at the moment. Yeah, I'm tethered. I'm tethered to Scotland. That's what happened when I went up there. Saw a gold line tethering me, but I haven't landed on my foundations yet because I'm not in Scotland, and I'm not walking. No, I don't want to say that. What I would say is I'm not living my life yet. So I had a profound. There was four of us last night talking about this. What's the difference between creating your life and living your life, right? And me going back to London is I was working with the energy of the tiger. Working with the spirit of the tiger is super advanced because the shadows are so terrible. It's the shadows about violation and violence, right? So I'm sure you can imagine that's a global thing, right? So it's really challenging to work with, and it requires an enormous amount of grace um, because so much anger comes with the tiger. That's where all the rage comes from and stuff. And the gosh, whew, sorry,
it's okay, mate. It's good. Take time.
yeah, I need to go a
Okay.
bit slow on this because it's big. So
Yeah.
when I was in London, that's how I managed to change my life because I took what I needed. Right, this is what the tiger does. It takes what it needs. Okay, now the reason I lost myself in the past, say 3 or 4 years during my journey was because people took what they wanted from me. Right, I only just found this out about a week ago, and so now I have to reclaim all of that myself. And what I did in London when I used to live there is I got diagnosed, saw a psychologist, started getting fit, changed my diet, started reading books, started going on medicine journey. I basically went on a self-improvement journey, but I wasn't living my life, and I still haven't. So this is really interesting because I know you bring this into conversation. So what brought me rest in my system was knowing that in a strange way that I'm going back to London because I will be able to remake myself again, recreate myself. But how do I live my life? And so when you've destroyed yourself, like Hazel and I have done, and the wounding, the love that comes from life when you've abandoned the old life is so big that it takes years to be able to be strong enough to receive that amount of love.
Yeah, of course.
But it creates so much rage because it's like, why does it take so long? Why can't I just be there now? And it's because there's so much violence, physical violation energy inside me, and mainly to do with my sexuality. And I've spoken so much about this, but it's so big. Everybody should know about this. Everybody should know about this. Is that the purity of sexuality starts when we're a child, when we're born, and as soon as any negative energy is placed into the child, that's sexual abuse, because it's life force. It's a manipulation on the force of life within that child, right? And to purify that is terrifying. It really is, because if it wasn't, I would I'd be wearing $1,000 suits. I'd have my own house. Hazel would have all her stuff published. I would have my books published. I would be paying off your loan for you. I would be honestly. This is the level of power I'm talking about, though. It's the power of success with the full power of your life force from your sovereign birth into an adult body.
Yeah.
Right. But there's so many gates and doors that are shut that have to be opened in order to purify all of the times. And it doesn't mean you have to go to each one individually, but to purify that energy of sabotage. I'll give you an example. I woke up this morning, I had a really terrible dream of Hazel, my partner, rejecting me and ignoring me and going off with other friends and saying, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you." And I woke up feeling really rejected, and I was like, "What is that?" And I realized it was an ex-girlfriend who did that to me, and it was so traumatic on my life force that it's taken. Gosh, well, that happened in 2015. It's taken 10 years to go, oh my God, that really hurt.
Yeah.
Because I was in a partnership. I showed her parts of myself that I'd never shown anyone. And I found out that she slept with a guy for money. And I found out when I was walking to work in the middle of London, and it was like getting hit by lightning, and not in a good way.
No.
And so I did some eye gazing with Katie, and she said that one whole side of my face was just black, charred, like it'd been burnt, like a tree when it's hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And she completely devastated my heart, and that part of me died, and I've had to bring it back to life. And this is the level of innocence that everyone has, not just me.
Yeah.
Right. And when our innocence is gaslighted or taken for granted or beaten, violated, abused, laughed at, it all stays in the body as a memory, and the soul remembers everything. And you have to acknowledge that, and just acknowledging that through the soul lets the soul go, okay. And that's when the grief comes. That's when the smiles come, the rage, the tears, whatever it is. And the tiger is it's the drive. It's the sex drive, the driver. It's the and again, when I say sex drive, I mean life drive, life force. We call it sexuality, right? It's not about sex. It's really not, because I'd love to talk to you about this. I just want to open this up and connect it all. But sublimation. Do you know what sublimation is?
I've heard of it. No, go on.
Right. So I've had to investigate this. So I did some soul retrievals a few years ago, and the word sublimation came through, and I was like, I don't even know what that means. And it has multiple meanings, but what it was, it's taken me a few years to decode it, is the sublimation of sex drive. So it means,
Okay.
so you know how most men, they become addicted to masturbation, right? And that
Yeah.
takes away their creative life force because they don't know how to create. So from a man like me, I destroyed my life so that I could relearn how to create, is to repurpose that sexual energy into creation, and that's called sublimation. You turn that sexual life force into creative, to create something. And so the tiger is a powerful proponent of creating life.
Yeah. So deeply grateful for you sharing so much about yourself there and your journey. It's powerful stuff to have such insight now into knowing how you go forward. It's brilliant. It's yeah, it's not been easy. It's not been easy, but yeah, that sense of the driver, knowing that that was once an energy used, and could have continued to use that, and you would be, like you say, quite comfortable actually. But that isn't the route you're going. That's not the right journey for you. Um, you've had to strip back, strip back, strip back, strip back. Like you said, annihilation. It wasn't your word, but literally destroy your life was your word.
Yes.
She's really impressive. And I know there's not many of you out there that have done that deep work. There is men that are doing it, but to truly go where you've gone, which is, I could easily go and be this guy, but actually it's not easy to be that guy anymore, because the draw to this life is so much stronger. It's the hard and the harder road. It is the harder road. um I had no second doubt about going to borrow money, and I did it by accepting I didn't have it, but I knew that it could turn into a greater good. And I was at three presses. It was like three presses of a button, and there the money was in my account. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's what happened to me. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It's there.
Yeah.
And I fucking pressed the button, and I thought I was just accepting the terms and conditions. I hadn't. I'd accepted the whole deal. I literally had no control over this.
Yeah.
None. And that's the way I see you and me and Hazel and the collective. You have no control, because that's the way it's got to be. We can't, there's no words for it sometimes. But you describing our sovereign being that innocence, we're going to step into perinatal. We're going to look beyond the womb. We're going to go way back. But you're right. If we went to every door and knocked on it, of every moment we were discounted, abused, hurt, violated, disrespected, that is such an impossible task for most people. And I'm not saying you've got to go and revisit everything, but you're absolutely right. In order for us to get back in a line, we owe it. We owe this to the collective unconscious. We owe this as a collective, as an organic organism, we owe this to. I've been blessed to have children. I owe it to them. I owe it to myself first. But this is about what's gone on before, what's coming that angle. This is massive alignment, and you've got all these unfinished little bits, and you'll get that done. You will get that done. You've been in a great stripping back, and it's taken great courage and determination. And this is a remarkable journey that you're on, a remarkable journey. Like, I mean, you're doing the work. You're not fucking like pissing around here. You know, you're an inspiration.
Thank you.
You're an inspiration, my friend. And I trust you so, so much. And I know you can hold me on my journey, because I'm going to be going through 6 pillars, 7 stages. There's all these like significant points that we're going to hit, and I'm going to feed into our chat, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's aligned with this, and you already have visited it, but I'm going to go and do it in order to marry up with what we've just spoken about, that high sense of control, that suddenly this is not working, is it? We're losing control. Yeah, and we've done everything we can. God damn it, we've got no more ideas. And so they're stuck, and they've got to. But what we've got to meet is that loving kindness and awareness has got to merge. It can't be critical. Yes, I agree with you. We're allowed to move into righteousness. We're allowed to move into our rage and anger. But it's got to be authentic. It's got to come from the right place.
Yeah.
Us, we. This is a great opportunity, because so many people like yourself, and might not be doing it the way you're doing it, but they're rising to this challenge. And the purpose to find real joy in being you, to find real happiness in everything that's happening, from micro to macro, everything that's going on. It's a fucking miracle. And it's not just because I've reached 50, it's suddenly like, right, I've not got long to go. This has been known before. This feels very familiar to me.
I see what you mean. Right.
This with you, these conversations, these feel the depth that I've always known.
What comes up is the Grail Night.
Okay.
Because when you said that, I started to feel like, well, how far back does this energy go? And I don't know, but this holds the energy of the Grail Night, where you're trying to do the right thing by everyone, but it has to be in alignment with love.
I don't feel the pressure of that though, if you know what I mean. It feels very open and freeing. It doesn't feel like righteous in that way. It feels righteous in my own selfhood, my own, hey, this is my responsibility. This is a really great opportunity of figuring out me.
Yeah. It's funny, I've been working on the energy of control for a long time to free myself. And obviously there's the 3 lines of consciousness, but I'm just going to focus on the personal. So it's hilarious. I laughed earlier because I realized that I have most of my epiphanies when I'm on the toilet. I was having a piss and started to get. I got the antidote to control. I realized how control is created in the masculine, and it stems from. So I got the message from spirit, but it wasn't landing properly, and so. When I was on the toilet, because when you're on the toilet, you're really relaxed, right? And so it comes in, and what came in was that there's this kind of jealousy over others who are creating their lives. Like, I'll give you an easy example is Hazel, right? When stuff needs to get done, she gets shit done, right? She's up and she's creating her life, and that's different to how the masculine's creating his life might be going for a run, but that's recreation, right? That's something different. So I'm talking about actual creation, like writing your book. She's doing her oracle deck, doing something artistic or whatever, right? And because she was creating her life and I wasn't, I felt that inferiority. And so I wanted to control her life because I wasn't taking control of my own life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Boom.
Yeah. And so that's why the masculine tries to control the feminine, because they've lost that tether to their own creativity and they're not creating their lives. They're not taking control of their own lives. And so they try to control their partner.
Yeah. Massive. And that is absolutely on point, because we were discussing how this unification of masculine and feminine is in this course massively. So we're going to go on that journey as well. So that's really profound. And like you say, I mean, let that just keep coming for you. That's an amazing way of getting great insight. Like you say, whether it's on the toilet or seems to happen more when you're on the loo, but to notice that is, yeah, that's a powerful message. I don't know if do you fully agree with it? Do you feel that you weren't living your life in presumably Wales or?
No, what I found out was and this is metaphysical, this won't translate properly, but did some dodgy the ceremony wasn't. I did some ceremonies with some dodgy people years ago, and some things that happened in that ceremony caught up with us. And one of those was that my life force was being stolen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't really translate to the physical. But what I wanted to touch on was you said about this group that you've joined. There might be a plant medicine journey. Is that right?
Yeah, I think part of the course is definitely, I think with the masters, definitely you've got to go. I think they recommend a place in Holland, which you obviously you'll pretty much know. Whether I go to that level, we'll see. I'd like to think that I can get there, but one step at a time. I think it would be definitely important for me on this journey that I'm on at the moment, at this degree stage, to come on that journey with you. Yeah, be held by you on and yeah, I'll report in when I know more. It's definitely it's in the content, it's in the course. There's people that are already doing big journeys with plant medicine. There also was talk of fake shamanism, fake sages, fake gurus, fake. It's been completely and utterly also, and that's why I've always said to you, like when Lexi came, I came back and said, what you saying? She said, you're right, they're the real deal. Because Lexi, well, you reported into me, you go, Michael, I'm not sure I've come across many Lexis before. She's very, very real. You've got to be so super careful, I think, in this great unveiling of self with the people you've just explained there. There was people within that setting that were trying to steal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is something that has always pissed me off. So I'm gonna not get angry or rage now, but I see it. I've seen it in some of the festivals I've been to. I've seen it when people are pushing it. They're pushing I don't know, this is who I am, and it's just so, I just pick up on that. Oh God, I couldn't behave like that. Like people come to me, they have, say, a haircut, and they go, I heard through somebody you're a Reiki master. I was like, well, I do. Yeah, I said I'm a holder of space, and I've been attuned to some to the Reiki lineage. Let's say we're all Reiki, but like, oh, you never said, or you're a counselor. I d- I didn't realize that you never said, because I feel that we find each other at the right time, and if we get in the way of that by forcing something, or I'm just, you know what I'm like, I get really particular about how we frame ourselves and who we really are within that. And I think we've got to get back to like being who you are at whatever stage you're at in your growth, or if you're not even taking any type of journey, you couldn't give a shit. You're still responsible for your name, and you need to make sure that that is the most sacred thing. Like, oh, Michael Watson, yeah, that's, and it's not because you want to be a people pleaser or get off on people complimenting you. It's nothing to do with that. It's not grandiose things. It's to do with, you should be proud of who you are for all of your faults, all of your bad stuff, all you know. And I think we're easily just, we could go on a weekend's course and call yourself a shaman or something, is what I'm trying to say. Or you could go on you know, a level 4 course like me and say you're a psychotherapist. And it's like, no, you're a counselor. There's a big difference there. No, there isn't. In America, they call them. I said, well, we're not in America. So yeah, I think I'm, that's something I'm very intrigued to having conversations, because there was a little bit of ego in the group last night. Some people had to drop in, they had PhDs. There was no fucking need for it. There was no fucking need.
No,
Suddenly
there
it's just like,
isn't.
oh,
Oh
and
my
by the way, did you know I
God.
had a PhD? Oh, anyway, so I was talking about my grandmother. That's right, yeah. And it's just like, oh my God. So that spiritual intelligence is clearly not there. So,
But yeah, so Kate, I just want to interject. Katie said something really profound the other day. She said the mind is intellect and the heart is intelligence.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, because that's perfect, and it's true.
So
Because love
my,
is true intelligence. Yeah, the mind is intellect and the heart is intelligence.
yeah,
I'm still learning from women, mate. They're incredible, honestly.
what's that?
I'm still learning from women.
Good.
They're the true mentors.
They are, brother.
They're the true shamans.
They are. Yeah, tell Katie, thanks for that. Yeah, no, agreed. Agreed. I've been fortunate to, in my marriage, and I opened up by sharing that Lexi's, she's, her hands are in soil. She's doing so much propagation. She's really into horticulture. She's making lots of different sages and potions, and but she, you mentioned about you getting insight, great insight about Hazel, and you having that sudden awareness, I'm getting in the way of that in some way, energetically, or I don't know. I forget how you described it. I wouldn't want to say power struggle or control. Maybe control, I think you said.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Okay. Lexi was, go get on that vessel, swim, swim, swim. And then I've seen, her, she looks at me differently, and she's like, shit, you're really on a path here. And I could get that sense of distance from her. So I've got to stay really close to her. I've got to really
yeah.
be with her. Um,
That's beautiful.
yeah, I've got to really stay close to Lex at the moment. I think she found something very special, Hazel and the girls. something very, very pure. I mean, her little altars are beautiful all around the house. Different, you know, she's making loads of bread, sourdough. She's making wonderful cakes. She's constantly I forget what the word is. Not marinating, another word. She's making all these different superfoods for us.
Okay, yeah, that says she's creating. That's amazing. This is what I mean. Like, women are natural creators. It's incredible. So some of the girls on the group haven't aren't natural creators. Like, I'm working with Carolina. She was on this podcast. I'm speaking to her tomorrow because she's having trouble with rage, and the she's been cut off from that energy. So even women can be cut off from that energy. You know, so it can be it can be really utterly devastating to be cut off from that creative source, from our own creative source. And you know, you've kept yourself interacted with what your journey is showing you, keeping yourself busy. I mean, you're holding down about what, 3 different jobs, aren't you? Doing massages, haircut, counseling, and now you're doing this stuff on top. And so and you're holding people. But as I had this conversation with you previous, and it applies to me as well. You know, I was doing that, but when Hazel showed me that a real life, a true life, is where we are all creators, and it's been the most painful part of my journey. And I naturally took to writing. That's been okay, but when it comes to the real creative stuff, like drawing, creating music, or even making stuff with my hands, oh my god, it's wow, so much comes up. It's so tough. It's like
Yeah.
it's like where, you know, cover the walls in bubble wrap in case I destroy the place. You know, it's like, wow, it's really tough, man. Like
Yeah.
my other podcast, He Lives, when I have to channel each story, and if it's not good enough, I have to be really careful how I treat myself, because I find it really tough to create. So the fact that you said that you need to stay close to her, that's exactly what I said to Hazel when I met her in 2020. I said, I got this feeling that I need to stick close to you, and that's it. You learn from the feminine. How do I create? How do I come
Yeah.
into the purity of my heart and stay in that flow? Because for a man, it's so easy to go, "What, I'm in the mind."
Yeah. 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 True. Yeah, you're right. And I'm just thinking about, you know, how she devotes herself to her singing, and she does that on a Saturday, and people turn up and do a kirtan, and yeah, she definitely has helped 100% in this process of creativity, being art, living art, being really curious. And this never ends. It just continues, and I hope it really, really does. And it's not like today. I held 2 people. They're in for beard trims, haircuts, but they get the backwash, and then they both put the luxurious package, which means they get like some body work. So one guy just wanted me to scan his chakras, and the other guy wanted um some subo points, such as some pressure point in. We did some things on the ears, very, very bespoke. And that was hell. 2 women were in the space. That one was Lexi doing some hair work, and they just naturally held us. They stopped talking, just naturally. They were busy talking, but our energy, which was probably, I don't know, obviously masculine, but transcended into them, and suddenly they were, and it was just like there was no showing off. There wasn't any type of that bullshit in the room. It was just me really working, person centered, and that person receiving, and it was creating second by second. I didn't know where my next move was going to be. I didn't know how I was going to do this or support the head there, or was I going there? What was I doing there? But it both moments with both clients was so fluid and beautiful, and both parties, both the clients said they came back and they had to orient because they were just really, really in. And that was witnessed by Lexi and this. And when they both, well, one left and then the other one came and then the other one left. Lexi and this woman just said that was really, really beautiful to watch, like two men doing that sort of work. And I was just like, it's because of you guys that are here holding that for us as well. It's the perfect union, it's the perfect balance. So yeah, I'd like to, just it's not a counter challenge, but I do have a lot of hats. I do wear a lot of hats, but I'm really, really in love with what I do. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing because it is a lot, but it's great. It's great. My self-care hasn't been wonderful. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I seem to have taken to a little bit of smoking hogwart, and I've done I did a little bit of marijuana the other day, and did a meditation. I haven't been for my big walks. Oh, I went away with a friend. I did. I went for a big walk with a friend a couple of weekends ago and did some Jurassic Coast. No, to be fair, that was exceptionally needed and it was really recharging. I've been doing little bits of work on my mat. I usually am on my yoga mat most days, at least 10, 15 minutes. Just doing some asanas or just very small stretches. I've been quite exhausted. I've been getting into bed for about 9, 9:30, um, and waking up feeling quite tired. So I'm aware that I have got a lot on, but I really enjoy getting up and getting on with my day. But I haven't got what you have described, Michael. I don't know, you opened with, I don't know if you've ever experienced just this continuous. There's just we sent our car for a service and we get a £1,500. It's just constant, this whole breaking down of trying to break you down. When's it going to end? I don't have that going on. Yes, there's always something going on, but I don't have anything big like that. I've got a settled space, I've got a home, I've got a business.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I can't really feel you on that level. And but being you must be amazing because you've got this great opportunity. This is it. This is another stage of this. Where so I'm intrigued to know what's happening out of wind. What's coming? What do you think's coming for you and Hazel? Do you think that you're coming back to Dorset, for example?
No, it's still London for me and Glastonbury for Hazel.
Okay.
This is the purity of the 999 split. It's not to split up, but it's to find our own individual paths.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Makes sense.
so Hazel's being called to Glastonbury, I'm being
Yeah.
called to London. Not fully sure yet. As you know, we're pioneering our own journey, and it's like
Yeah.
I explained to Rob the other day. It's like that scene from Indiana Jones where he walks onto the bridge of faith and you can't see it, and he just closes his eyes and puts a foot out.
Yeah.
That's like my journey at the moment. It's just pure
Nice.
faith, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
And it's really difficult because I want to know, but
Of course.
I'm being called to live in the unknown, and being a man, that's excruciating because I had to take out control and logic. But
Yeah.
Hazel said this to me the other day, and she's right, and it's profound. It's a true way of living.
Yeah. So much more exciting.
it's the natural way of living, and I think
Natural, yeah.
we've all forgotten that. And I think
Yeah.
I'm just having this realization right now of how deeply I've forgotten how to be in life, because controlling life is the same as closing the door on life. And I was having this conversation, you know, me talking about doing all that self-improvement stuff isn't life, right? So what is life? And to me, I'd like to hear from you, but for me, being in life is like, you know, going for a hike up the mountain with your mates, you know, going wakeboarding with your mates, having a party, going camping. That's being in life, you know, having fun. That's to me is life.
Yeah. 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 I think, yeah, absolutely agree with that. Being in life,
Finding real
just
people, you know.
appreciating all the elements today. Let's say we've had wind come in and just noticing we have some tall trees, some tall black. Oh God, they'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, some very tall trees. And I noticed them as soon as I woke up, and it really made me happy because I could just see them swaying all together. And then, leaving this morning, the rain on your face. So I think for me, elements, just noticing the elements, the sun on your face. We've had some glorious sun this week here, and
Wow.
it's warm, very, very warm. And I was doing some gardening, and I just stopped and just, did a salute and just, yeah. So for me, I think it's about just noticing the breath and actually just being alive in the elements would be one way I would describe it. I think being with my children are very, especially our children, we're keeping them off screens, yeah, they're not fed all of that stuff. So they're regurgitating, and their genuine beingness is it keeps you very much alive, because you're we've touched on it. It's our young version of ourselves that's been attended to.
Right. Their presence in their innocence reminds
Yeah,
you of your own presence.
yeah, of course, because you've got to get into their way of thinking. You've got to remember that they're rational, their prefrontal cortex is where they're at, but they're full of empathy and kindness. And yeah, I noticed it on the school run today. I pick up two other children, and she's always creating, so she's busily using different shades of pencil, and she's doing this thing, and I'm driving going, oh, that looks nice. And then she turns around to the children in the back and says, oh, look at, what do you think? One of the children says, that is really, really beautiful. Like, I'd love to be able to draw like that. And so,
Gosh, I didn't know kids like that when I was growing up.
yeah. And the other one did say, I don't quite understand it, because she's a lot younger. I don't quite understand it. Could you explain it to me? And Nico said, yeah, I'm just doing something like that. So children for me keep me very much awake within the realm of life. Um, but it doesn't always have to be positive, mate. It could. Today I served somebody in one half of the session, which was we vocalize, we share. Second half is silence. So the he's sharing how he's caring for his parents who've got, dementia, and I'm not sure what else, but he's, having to sacrifice his own life for taking care of his parents. But to me, I reflected back that's just important work for growth. It's important work for that's life. Well, that's where we're all headed. We're gonna get old. So I think that brings you into real life as well. Whether that, but yeah, going up a mountain, taking a river on walk on the riverbank, noticing migrating birds, noticing, you know, um, the late bee and wasp that still seem to be hanging around. Yeah, I think lots of different things. But yeah, I think for me, getting in water is my biggest one. I've done loads, been doing loads of cold water. And for me, that's always been my place that I can really, like I spoke to you about when I was in the Mediterranean with Moses. And you said it's just the perfect conduit. It's the perfect place to be. So yeah, I think if I was gonna give you my version of what it is to be alive, I'd say the element of being in water would be how I truly get there very, very quickly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got to think about heading out to a school run.
Yeah, you're constantly in flow. I think that's why you don't have time to to go through all the shit that's going on at the moment. I think I need to do the same. I need to start. You're inspiring me. I need to. I'm starting to feel the creative energy again, the spark. So I need to.
You've been in mourning, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You've been in a lot. You've gone through so much. You're doing so well. You're an inspiration. You're a pioneer. You've got a wonderful partner. You've got a great opportunity now of, yeah, going ahead with what's coming, and get out the way of it. Just be this that I'm seeing. Just be this, and everything will just flow as it should. Yeah, you've got some really powerful women around you at the moment. You know, and um, I'm going to be really grateful for your brotherhood as I move further in the journey of this degree.
Yeah. Let's stay in touch
Oh
because it
yeah,
sounds amazing. Yeah. Okay, mate.
I'm really grateful for that, mate. That you've said that. Well done finding that. Good. That means a lot. It means a hell of a lot, actually. So I feel that that could be something that would be really, really great to just share some of it within our. It'd be interesting to see what's going to be happening for us now.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with this new path that you have encountered. It feels like a really big jump for you in a manageable and positive
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah,
It's amazing. It's like
yeah. It's a real
got you.
stretch.
It's like you got the golden ticket.
It does feel like the golden ticket. You've absolutely nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah, and all you have to do is to be yourself, mate,
yeah.
and you'll
I'll,
nail
I'll
it. You'll nail it.
I will do. I'll honor that 100%. I've still got my little heart with me. Look,
Yeah,
love that. Comes with me everywhere, man.
good.
Listen, lots of love, all right? And you look great. You look different. I know your hair looks good. You've had a nice trim.
Mm,
You've got your beard all sorted by the looks of it.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on building on the positive things that are happening.
Yeah. When should we try and check it? Should we try and keep going weekly? Because I'm really chuffed to get in today. Tuesday was just a no-go, but yeah,
Yeah,
let's figure something out.
if we can do this Tuesday, it'd be great because it's the Hunter moon, the full moon.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not, just let me know and we'll find another spot.
No, it's Anika's birthday, but she goes to school, so we can do it. We can do it.
Okay, mate.
All right. Lots of love. Give my love to
Okay.
Hazel, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
Peace out.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Peace.